So this is my spotlight spot, which is amazing. So have your straps and blocks to hand today, as we might need them. So I'll be offering ways of using your blocks this morning, and we'll be using the straps in various ways as well. So have those to hand, strap or a belt equivalent. So let's begin. Let us begin. So comfortable seated position. Sukhasana. So finding yourself in that cross-legged but comfortable cross-legged position. So shins parallel with each other. So you're creating a triangle shape with the legs. So just gently closing the eyes as you begin to take your focus and attention inwards. So just knowing that if any sounds, any thoughts try to hijack your practice today, then don't worry. Just observe the thought, the feeling, the sound, the sensation, whatever it is that tries to distract you. Just observe without judgment, and then come back to your anchor, which is your breath. So knowing the breath is always there. It's always there for you. It's always there for you to help you ground yourself back into the present moment. So just checking in on the body, how we're sitting. So growing your spine tall and long. Stacking your shoulders over the hips. Crown of the head pulling up towards the sky. So feeling the spine elongate. Feel the spine grow tall. Drawing the chin slightly in towards the chest, just to feel the length in the back of the neck. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And gently draw your shoulder blades towards one another. Just feel the openness across the chest, the front of the chest. Beginning to engage Mula Bandha. So get a little squeeze and lift there, because we're going to be using Mula Bandha today. Well, in fact, you use it every day, but in particular today we're going to really be utilizing Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Because in our arm support balances, these become extremely vital in creating support and stability in the trunk, in the torso. So squeeze and lift, drawing Mula Bandha in. So the muscle that prevents us from having a pee, the pelvic floor, or for the guys, the perineum. And then on your next exhale, draw navel to spine. So drawing in the belly, starting to switch on some abdominal muscles there. And then for the hands, you can simply rest the hands onto the knees with the palms facing up. And draw the thumb towards the thumb and the pointer finger together. If you want to, you can bring the pointer finger down to the base of the thumb, creating a circle. So the pointer finger being universal, being individual consciousness, and the thumb being universal. You imagine you're bowing down your consciousness to universal consciousness, but you're drawing the two together. So just unifying, and then having the palms facing up, offering suggestion. So being open to suggestion. So bringing that beginner's mind into the class. It's a fresh new day. Breathing in and out through the nose. Using the nose as a filter, So imagine breathing in fresh new air, fresh new prana, fresh new life force into the body. So just steadying the breath, not overly forcing, but making the breaths in and out nice and long. As you exhale, really let the breath go, really empty the breath out. So let's start our practice in earnest now with a single Om. So take a nice deep breath in. Just noticing the vibrations of your Om in your throat. Feeling the connections within the body. So that introspective practice that we take in yoga, the union between mind, body and spirit, using the breath, synchronizing our movements with our breath. Before we begin to really move, let's set a positive intention. So your own personal intention, keep that private to yourself. Make it definite. Give it light, clarity and colour. Really visualize it to your inner mind's eye. Really picture it there. And then repeat it silently 3 times. I am in this present moment, in the present tense. Slowly opening up the eyes, releasing your fingers, give them a wiggle. So the mudras can create a little bit of tension in the arms, so just be aware of how you place your hands. Let's give our wrists a little warm up now. So encircle your right wrist with the thumb and pointer finger. Give it a squeeze, so compress into the wrist joint. And then holding the forearm still, taking some cars. Continuous articular rotation, so rotating the hand around, so making sure you really explore every point of your circle that you can make without moving your arm. So do a few of those in both directions, and then switch to the other side. So first a little compression, and then rotation. Just noticing any difference in the wrists, any points of stiffness. And then placing the hands together, giving yourself, so bringing some flexion into the wrist. And then pulling the fingertips towards the forearm. A lovely stretch down the forearm. And then going the other way. Just gently work with this. Don't over push it, just gently. Still early in the morning, but just want to wake our wrists up. So working to both sides. And then give your hands a shake out. Then lifting them overhead, give them a shake. And then tap the hands. So pushing the fingers into the palms of the hands. Let's do that a few more times. Waking up the arms. And release. So coming over, rolling over gently onto your knees. So first we're going to come into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Setting ourselves up first the hands. Spread the fingers wide. Have your pointer finger face forwards, so the thumbs are higher up than the little fingers. Hands shoulder distance apart, fingers spread wide. So send the hands a little bit further forward than below the shoulders, so we're not stacking our hands this time. Tucking the toes. Squeeze and lift, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, begin to really engage into the abdominal area. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, just hover your knees just an inch off the floor. So really fully engaging into the belly now. Really squeeze and lift there. One more big breath in. And start to push into the hands as you draw your buttocks towards your heels. So stretching out into the shoulders. Just waking up the legs. And then start to send your tailbone up towards the sky. And walking your dog. So pedaling out the legs. If you were in the room, you would have heard some incredible cracking occurring here. So my ankles crack a lot first thing in the morning, as do my knees and my wrists. So just waking everything up. It's a bit like bubble wrap in the morning. So then taking yourself side to side with the hips. So swaying the hips side to side. Keeping the arms static. So you're rolling over onto the inside and the outsides of the feet. So it's like you're wagging your tail. Just stay on one side. So just stretching down the side body. Just hold it for a couple of breaths. And then take a hold onto the other side. Then coming to center. Taking a few lifts up onto the tips of the toes. And then explore reaching the heels down towards the floor. But they don't have to touch. It's definitely not first thing in the morning unless you have flexible Achilles or very flexible calves. So softness into the joints. So don't lock out the elbows, the shoulders. So just soften into those areas. It'll wake up there. And then taking a nice big breath in. You're going to ripple your chest forwards, forwards, forwards. So you bring your heart between your hands into plank, phalakasana. Take a big breath in plank. Then exhale, draw the hips back, downward facing dog. Big breath in, rounding through the upper spine, drawing navel to spine as well. As you ripple the chest forwards, coming back to plank. Big breath in. Exhale, draw navel to spine, pull the hips back. Downward facing dog. Imagine somebody's pulling you from the tailbone, from your tail back. Big breath in, let's ripple the chest forwards one more time. And then we're going to stay here. So doming that space between the shoulder blades. Don't allow the shoulders, your weight to sink into the shoulder. I want you to push into the hands. Squeeze actively into the thighs. Lift the thighs. Pushing into the heels. Really strong plank. 2 more breaths. From here, we're going to come into shishula, phalakasana, so forearm plank. So dropping down onto the forearms. Have your hands firmly into the ground, so spread the fingers wide. Forearms are parallel with each other. Squeeze and lift in the belly, squeeze into the thighs. We're going to take some Kapalabhati breaths. So that's a strong breath in and out. So you're pumping the breath through, in and out through the nose. Like that. So we're going to do about 20 breaths. So begin with a nice deep breath in. And then begin. On your next breath in, pushing into your hands, bringing yourself back into plank, and then back into downward facing dog. Reset your downward facing dog. From here, we ripple the chest slightly forwards into plank, and then coming onto your side. So stacking the feet, one in front of the other, taking a side plank. Reaching the left hand up to the sky. 2 more breaths. So stacking the arms one on top of each other, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, look up to your top hand. And then placing the left hand down, spinning over onto the sides of the feet, feet one in front of the other. You can stack the feet in front on top of each other if you want. But the important thing is to lift into the side body, keeping those hips elevated, arms stacked one on top of the other, looking up to your top hand. Nice steady ujjayi breath. In and out. 2 more breaths. Big breath in. Look down to your front hand. Place the hand, come into downward facing dog, bend the knees. Bend the knees generously so that the thighs come towards the belly, look to the top of the mat. And then start to walk really small steps up to the top. Clasp opposite elbows. Let's just hang here just for a little bit in ragdoll. Noticing how the body feels. Maybe you can feel the heart rate having risen from those forearm and full plank, side planks. Maybe from the Kapalabhati breath. So just nodding the head yes, shaking the head no, just checking you're not holding any tension in the neck. Draw some circles with the nose if that feels good. So just checking in on the neck. We're really using gravity here just to create some space between the vertebra, the first few vertebrae of the spine, cervical spine. Then dropping the hands to your mat. Really bend generously into the legs now. And then slowly rolling up to standing. So really rooting the feet, then squeezing into the thighs. So allow the arms to hang heavy and the head to stay heavy as you stack the spine from its base, vertebra by vertebra, with the head coming up fast. Coming to stand at the top of your mat in mountain pose, Tadasana. Choosing big toes together or feet hip distance apart or something in between. It's entirely your choice. Remember, this is your practice, nobody else's. Listen to your body, listen to its feedback. Really gaining body intelligence. So super conscious of how the body moves in space and how you feel within your body. So work with your body, tune it finely, and treat it well. So if anything feels wrong or doesn't work or begins to hurt, then stop. This is not a practice of pain. There's no pain, no gain here. It doesn't work like that. So it's not about pain, it's about working sensibly within your limits and then growing those limits and progressing safely. So be safe. So rooting your feet now into the earth. Lift all 10 toes, then replace them down onto your mat. Really feel the connection of your feet to the earth, Padabandha. So feeling the energy lock in there, nice and strong. Stacking the spine nice and straight, checking your neutral pelvis. So if you need to tilt the pelvis a little bit under, just to take out any extra curve in the lower spine, the lumbar spine. Squeeze into the thighs, lift those kneecaps up towards the thighs. So really fully engage here. Shoulders back and down away from the ears. A little squeeze together with the shoulder blades. Slight drawing of the chin towards the chest in order to lengthen the neck. Ujjayi breath. Taking our sun salutations, remembering it was the sun solstice yesterday. So imagine yourself standing facing the rising sun. Feeling its energy, feeling its vitality. Feeling it warming you from and invigorating you and giving you life. Taking a nice deep breath in, sweep the arms wide, lifting your arms up to the sky. Vasisthasana, look up to your thumbs with your drishti. Exhale, swan dive, the arms wide, down over to the legs. Plant the hands to the floor, bend into the knees, into uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Bring the hands to shins, flat back, gaze forward, scoop the belly up. Plant the hands, step the feet back into plank. Let's take the easy options to begin with. Drop the knees and take that option, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Then inhale into that locust position. So you're driving into the hands, lifting the body up, gaze up, keeping the hips down. Then exhale through Bhujapidasana. So tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's take 2 breaths here. So reset your dog. Spread the fingers wide, scoop the navel up towards the spine. Drishti, your gaze towards your navel. One more big breath in and out. On your next breath in, bend the knees, so you're coming on the tips of the toes, so the belly lands towards the thighs. Look to the top of the mat, keep the hips high, and step to the top of the mat. Exhaling. Breath in, half lift, so hands to shins or fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands alongside the feet when you do your forward fold if you can. And you can have a bend in the knees. Root the feet, squeeze into the thighs, lift all the way up. Back to your vasisthasana, and then lift the gaze as your palms of your hands come together, thumbs join, and then hands through center, samastiti, back to mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweep wide, look up to your thumbs. Vasisthasana, exhale into uttanasana, forward fold deeply, hands alongside the feet. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step or jump back. You can take this option of knees, chest, chin, or take chaturanga dandasana, up to you, or the ashtanga pranam. Inhale into salambasana. Exhale through bhujapidasana, or going straight into your downward facing dog, your choice. 2 breaths here. Inhale for 1. Exhale for 1. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. Inhaling, bending the knees, coming onto the balls of the feet, look forward, step, hop or jump to the top, your choice. Inhale for that half lift. Exhale, deeply forward, fold over the legs, draw the head down towards the legs. Root the feet, inhaling, reaching up to the sky. And then this time, let's swan dive straight the way down, keeping flowing. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, hold the breath, step, hop or jump into your plank. Exhaling through that Ashtanga Pranam, knees, chest, chin, or taking your full upward facing dog into or salambasana. So you choose your practice. Exhale, driving the hips back, or taking the Bhujapidasana version. Softness into the body, being kind, knowing what's best for you, because it's your practice. Knowing that child's pose is always there for you also if you need to take a break, if you need to stop. No ego, no judgment, no self-criticism. On your next breath in, bending in the knees, coming the balls of the feet, look to the top of the mat. Exhaling, hop, step or jump to the top. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, deeply forward fold, long feet and hands alongside each other. Inhaling, sweep the arms wide, look up to your thumbs. Hands through center, back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Surya Namaskar B. Inhaling, generously bend the knees, sweeping the arms down, fingertips touch the earth, then follow your hands with your drishti as you come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Forward folding, exhaling. Inhaling for your half lift. Hold the breath, plant the hands, step or jump back into your plank, taking chaturanga or the knees, chest, chin option. Inhaling for your up dog or your salambasana, your choice. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, Taking that right leg to the sky, bending the knee, and then doing a few circles with the knee. Opening the hip up to the side. Bringing that leg back to center. Come on the ball of the left foot. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. Touch the nose with the knee if you can. And step the foot forwards. Coming into Ashtachandrasana. Inhaling one breath, looking up between the hands. Exhaling, framing the front foot. Inhaling into plank. Exhaling, lowering your choice. Inhale for your up dog or your version thereof. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling, floating the left leg to the sky, bend the knee. Drawing some circles with that knee, big circles. Both directions. Then inhaling, kicking the leg back to the sky, three-legged dog. Come on the ball of the right foot, drawing the left knee into chest, touch the nose if you can. Step forwards with that foot between the hands. Keep on the ball of the back foot into your Ashtachandrasana. One breath, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step the front foot back into plank. Inhale. Exhale as you lower down. Keep your elbows tucked. Inhale, upward facing dog. Draw navel to spine. Control your downward facing dog transition. 2 deep breaths here. On your next breath in, bend into the knees. Balls of the feet look forwards. Exhale, step, hop, or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Forward folding, exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Swooping the arms forwards. Follow the gaze. Fingertips with the gaze. Then forward folding straight away into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, hold the breath, step the jump back. Exhale, lower your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest. Exhale, navel to spine, draw those hips back, downward facing dog. This time, just kicking the right leg to the sky briefly, then stepping it between the hands, drop the back heel. Inhaling into warrior one. One breath, bring the palms of the hands together, look up. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step the front foot back, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Open that chest up. Exhale, hips drive back. Inhale, kicking the left leg to the sky, then stepping it between the hands. Drop the back heel. Warrior one. One breath. Exhale, forward fold, hands either side of the front foot. And inhale into plank. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, open the chest as you lift your heart to the sky. Exhale, drive the hips back and reset your breath, downward facing dog. Check your drishtis, drawing towards your navel. Softness in the shoulders into the elbows. Always know that there's a little micro bend in the knees if you need it. Don't lock out the legs. On your next breath in, coming onto the balls of the feet. Bend into the knees, look forwards. Exhale, step, hop, and jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold deeply, exhale. Into chair, Utkatasana. Squeeze those thighs towards each other, lift the arms up. Look between the hands. Forward folding, exhale. Last round, inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, hold the breath, step, jump the feet back, exhale, lower, keep the elbows close to the body. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Stepping the right foot between the hands and then dropping the back knee to the earth and tuck the toes. Coming into Anjanasana, low crescent lunge. So really stretching into that the front of the left thigh, into that hip flexor, look up to your hands, then framing the front foot, tap the back toes, inhale into plank. Lowering yourself down with control, your choice. Inhale, up dog or your version. Exhale, downward facing dog. Kicking the left leg to the sky, then stepping it forwards between the hands, drop the right knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale, Anjanasana.
Look up to your hands. Arms, the hands can be apart or the palms together, your choice. Frame the front foot, exhale, tap the back toes. Inhale with control into plank, exhale, lower. Inhale, open up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, exhale, drive the hips back. Downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha. So hearing that victorious oceanic sounding breath. Let's all take a deep breath in, fill the lungs. Open mouth, sigh the breath out. Let's take 2 more of those. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Lion's breath for the 3rd one, sticking the tongue out, looking to the 3rd eye. So really releasing and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. On your next breath in, little bend in the knees. Onto the balls of the feet, look to the top of the mat. Step, hop, or jump to the top, exhale. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, into chair. And then folding down back over the legs. Taking yourself down to the mat. To drop the knees down. And taking yourself into a little child's pose. So rolling the shoulders open. So rolling the shoulders forward so that the shoulder blades can separate. Just feeling that space there. 2 more breaths. From here we're going to take one of our first arm balances. So taking a nice breath in. So we're going to take bhujapidasana first. So placing the hands down onto the floor. Lifting yourself back into downward facing dog. Just briefly for a breath. Looking to your hands, bend into the knees. I'd like you to step your feet up behind the hands. So feet behind the hands. And then you're going to take the hands behind the feet. So from here, what you're going to be doing is come onto the balls of the feet. So now you need to lift the heels off the floor. You're going to place the hands firmly into the floor, and you're going to create a ledge with the backs of your arms for your legs. Now start to look forwards, start to bring your weight into your hands, start to bring your feet together. So wiggle your feet together. This might be enough for today. So taking the feet, if you can, to cross over each other. And if you can, push into the heels of the hands, use your hands as feet. Start to look forwards and lift the feet off the floor. Do what you can today. Hold it here for another 3 breaths. I'm going to drop back because I've looked to you. So I'm going to turn around and face you. So this pose, bhujapidasana, you can have the feet crossed if that's available to you. So always looking forwards. Bringing the feet, crossing the feet over each other really helps lift the feet off. So tilting forwards or rolling back, your choice. But rolling forwards, just be careful with the wrists to come out. Take the feet, separate the feet, and then step yourself back into a plank and then downward facing dog. Well done, everybody. And then bending the knees, look to the top of the mat, walk your hands Your feet up to your hands. Take a breath in, half lift, and then forward fold, exhale. Sweeping the arms wide, lift the arms up to the sky. Just bring ourselves up to standing. Look up to your hands. Palms together, then hands through center, samsthiti. So bhujapidasana, your first real arm balance of the day. So give your hands a little bit of a rotation again. So squeeze into the wrists. We call this a bit of wrist therapy. Give them a shake out. Bringing the feet together. In your mountain pose, taking a step with the left foot back, lining that front heel with the back inner arch of the right foot. So feet far apart, quite a wide stance as we come into warrior two. So big breath in, let's reach the arms to the sky, then exhale, bending into the front leg. You should be able to see your front big toe sink into the hips. Check your arms parallel to the earth, and then softness into the gaze, your drishti towards your front middle finger. So soften the gaze, soften into the face, the neck and jaw. So although you're a fierce warrior, soften the face. No tension, maybe a little smile in the corners of the mouth. And then taking side angle. So forearm to thigh, reaching the left arm overhead, reach away, holding something precious in that right hand. Open the chest to the side, so tuck the bottom under. It's almost like you're trying to squeeze the thighs towards each other for stability. Look up to your top hand. Coming down a little bit lower if you want with the right hand. And if you want to bind the left hand behind the back, reach around the back and touch onto your right thigh. Roll that left shoulder back. Nice, strong, steady breaths here. And then from here into Trikonasana. So straightening your front leg. Keeping your right hand down by your inner calf or ankle. Keep that left shoulder rolled back. And then bring the left arm 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock with the arms. So tucking the tailbone under. Imagine you're placed between two planes of glass. Now don't dump down into that right hand. Reach your hands forward towards me. Look up to your top hand if that's available. 2 more breaths. Really squeeze and lift into the side body. Big breath in. Look down to your front foot. Take a little warrior two, just to transition. Look to your front middle finger. Send your body so that you're facing the top of your mat. And step the feet together in one go if you can. Step the right foot back. So I'm going to turn around to face you the other way. But you keep your left foot forwards, your right foot back, and realign yourself centrally along that imaginary tightrope line on your mat. You might have a line on your mat, so really utilize that. Big breath in, reaching up. Exhale, sinking deeply into the hips. Body remains upright though. Reaching the fingertips away. Look to your front middle finger. Just do a little quick check. You can see that front big toe. If you can't, take the feet wider apart. You don't want the knee oversailing the front ankle. Soften into the shoulders. Don't hunch the shoulders by the ears. Nice, steady ujjayi sounding breaths. Extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Windmill that right arm overhead, creating a diagonal line with the right side body. Lifting your gaze up to the sky, up towards your hand. So opening the chest to the side, holding something precious in that left hand. Don't just let it hang and flop there doing nothing. Imagine you're holding a pot of gold or the sun in your hand. Maybe reaching the left hand down towards the ankle if you want to go a bit deeper into that left hip. And binding the right arm behind the back. Reach to the left thigh. Roll that right shoulder back, looking up. Keep the gaze lifted. 2 more breaths. Hearing that Vijay sound, whispering oceanic, straightening up your front leg now. Coming into tittibhasana, triangle pose. So don't dump down into that left hand. Keep it somewhere inside of the left calf or towards the ankle, but don't roll the shoulders down. Keep that lift to the side, shoulders stacking one over the other, arms 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock to start, look up. Squeeze the thighs towards each other, so draw the legs in towards each other, nice and strong and stable. Then lifting your left hand towards me. Lifting that side body. Look up to your top hand, 2 more breaths. Deep breath in. Coming to warrior 2. Then look into the front of your mat. See if you can step your feet together in one bow. Well done. Into your tree pose, phalakasana. So find yourself a spot on the floor, a spot for your drishti. Starting with your right leg, standing leg. Root that foot into the earth. Big toe, all 5 toes, but the big toe in particular. So that one does a lot of work. Lift and squeeze into the standing leg thigh, into the glute. Use that drishti spot for your gaze. I'm first going to bring the left knee in and up towards the chest. And then super slowly, with control, don't worry if you wobble. Wobbling's fine, it just means you're challenging yourself. Try to touch your nose down to your knee. And then taking your place for your foot. Big toe touching the earth, foot to calf, foot above the knee, but never on the knee itself. Create that connection with the lifted foot and the leg. Open the knee to the side. Then take your hands to your heart center. Lifting your arms, grow your branches up to the sky. Steady breaths. Squeeze and lift Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. 2 more breaths. Then bring your hands down to your heart center. Extend the left foot forwards. Flex the foot, squeeze into the thigh, hold. And then lowering it down. Give your legs a little shake out. Over to the other side. Rooting the left foot now into the earth. Really strong Pada Bandha. Strong standing leg. That's your trunk of your tree. Slowly with control, bringing your right leg in. Right knee up. And then offering your nose down to your knee. Nice and slowly. Again, might be wobbly on one side, but more than the other. Finding your place for your foot. Finding that drishti spot. Feel the lift of your bandhas. Feeling the energy stored there, strong. Two more breaths. Bring your hand to your heart center and extending your right foot forwards. Flex the foot, squeeze into the thigh, hold. And slowly lower it down with control. Let's shake out the legs. Grab your strap if you use your strap for the tittibhasana. So this one is where we stand in the we stand with the left leg hand to the hip. Peace finger or your strap around the foot. So this is where we extending the leg and bring ourselves down towards the leg. So you choose. Now if you need to hold on to a wall or take your back to something if you need that today. Remember, there's no ego, no competition. This is your practice. Do what you need to do. Do what works for you, and use your support, your walls, or using your strap. So focus, really stay focused on this balance. Big toe rooting into the earth, left leg, strong left leg. Peace fingers if you're taking the hand lock option. So extending the leg forwards and then bringing the body down. See if you can kiss your knee with, obviously kiss your knee, just kiss your knee. So lifting that leg up just a little bit more. 2 more breaths. And then release the foot down with control. Over to the other side, use that drishti spot. Use that big toe mound into the earth. Strong connection. Lifting the bandhas. Uddiyana bandha, mula bandha. Kiss the knee. Lift that leg a little bit higher. And then release. And back to the mountain pose. Straight away coming into a vinyasa. Inhale, reaching the arms to the sky. Exhale, deeply forward fold. Plant the hands alongside the feet. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step or jump back into your plank. And then coming into vasisthasana, side plank. Reaching the arms up to the sky. Now, option here is to bring the foot to lift. So bringing the foot onto the knee. Don't put weight though into the knee joint. And then over to the other side. Squeeze and lift into the side body. So the heel of my foot is actually above my knee joint. It's not pressing onto the knee joint. Squeeze and lift into the hips. Don't let the hips drop. Lift your gaze up to your top hands if you can. 2 more breaths. And then planting that right hand back down, come into plank. Bringing the feet forwards, hopping the feet forwards, and then onto your bottoms. Taking a little seated twist. So bringing the foot, the left leg, foot into the knee. Taking the right foot back. So twisting over to the right. So left hand towards that right ankle. And then reaching the right arm behind and back. So you're on the fingertips behind you. Growing the spine nice and tall. Looking over your right shoulder. Big breath in. Switching sides. So bringing the right foot across. Take the left knee to that right foot. And then sending the left foot back. Bringing the right hand across to the shin, calf of the left foot, left leg. And then coming onto the fingertips with the left hand behind you. Grow the spine tall. And looking over your left shoulder. Squeeze and lift into the belly. Keep the openness in the chest. So don't squeeze the shoulders in, open the shoulders. As in squeeze the shoulder blades together, keep the chest open. Big breath in, looking forwards, coming into Navasana. So taking your hands gently behind the knees, keeping the chest lifted. Tilt yourself back. Now, if you have a bony coccyx, then roll your mat up or put something underneath there just to prevent any bruising or discomfort. So bringing your shins first parallel to the ground, then release the arms if you can, reach the arms forward, palms facing up. Then lifting the legs so that the feet are level with the eyes. Let's hold it here for 5 breaths. Little shaking spine means you're working hard. I'm shaking. 3 more breaths. Squeeze into the belly. Keep that chest lifted. Bit of a smile. Another breath. Folding the legs, cross the legs. Taking yourself down onto the floor. Going to do some leg lifts. So rolling down gently through the spine. I can't actually see myself on the screen, so hopefully you can still see me. So rolling down, lifting the legs up to the sky. Taking the arms alongside you, palms facing down. We're going to do 10 leg lifts. So your choice to lift the head or have the head down to the earth. So big breath in, lower the legs, hover them above the ground, don't touch down. Exhale, lift. That's 1. Inhale, lower, hover. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lift. That's 3. Work in your own pace. Finish at 10. If you want to make it a bit harder, take the hands alongside the head so that you're not using the arms to propel the legs up. Squeeze into the belly. I've got another 3. Last one. Keep the legs as straight as you can. Hug the knees in. Give yourself a little rock and roll along the spine. And then crossing the legs. Going to roll over and take a little yogi squat. So yogi squat. Heels elevated. If that feels good. You work with what works for you. So I'm starting with my heels lifted. Keep the chest lifted, bring the palms and hands together and the elbows on the inside of the knees. If you want to work into having, son's leaving for school now, it's his first day back since the beginning of lockdown. So work into those hips. For me, this is a lot trickier with my heels down to keep my chest lifted. So just stay here for a few breaths. You can always prop up under the heels with a block, but try to see where you can go. It might be heels almost down, so like in between lifted and down. Just stay here for a couple more breaths. And then we're going to go back to bhujapidasana. So take the hands back behind the feet. Going to do that lift again. So making that ledge for the backs of the legs. Looking forwards, wiggling the feet together. Now drive into the heels of the hands. Cross the feet over if you can. Looking forwards. Lift the chest. Drive into the heels of the hand. Use the fingertips. So make sure you're not putting too much weight backwards, otherwise you might roll back. Hold it here. Another 2 breaths. And then release. Come to sit down. From here, we're going to take our crow pose, bakasna. So just watch me demonstrate first. So imagine these are your feet now. Your hands are your feet. So fingertips spread wide. Maybe you'll bend into the fingers. Really use the fingertips really strongly into the mat, that connection there. Lift the heels off. Your feet are hip distance apart. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Taking the knees as high up into the inner back of the arms towards the armpit. For some people this is comfortable. For me, I have to take my knees slightly to the outside edge of my upper arms. So then, bringing your weight into your hands, look slightly forwards with your gaze. Squeeze and lift into the belly. So round and dome that space between the shoulder blades. Then lifting one foot off at a time. If you feel you need to, put a cushion in front. If you feel you're going to tip forwards. And maybe have a play with actually tipping forwards and then realizing it's okay. It's nothing bad's going to happen. So have a go with your crow. So remember, squeeze and lift into the bandhas really, really strong. Gaze forwards. Lifting one foot at a time, bring the feet together, lift the feet up towards the buttocks. 5 breaths. If you want to, tilt the head down, have a go. Because if you didn't have the cushion there and you just had the floor, you can actually go into a tripod headstand. So that is actually a movement where you tilt forwards and you land the head. But we will work towards that. Crossing the legs now. Crossing the legs. Taking your blocks. And take another little lift. So take your blocks either sides of the hips, the buttocks. Drive the heels of the hands into the floor. Your legs are crossed. Lift your bum off the floor. Lift the bottom. Hold it here. So really don't sink into the shoulder, don't have the shoulders by the ears. You're driving the shoulders away from the ears. And then lower down. You're going to go up one more time. If any of you can take a full lotus, come into lotus, Padmasana. If not, stay in your cross-legged seated position. Going to push into the heels of the hands again. Big breath in. Squeeze and lift, navel to spine. Squeeze and lift into Mula Bandha. Drive into the heels of the hands, into that block. Lift the knees up if you're in full lotus. 5 breaths. So 3 more to go. Lift the knees. 2 more. Last breath. Exhale, lower yourself down. Release the knees. Coming into Ardha Maukashvanasana. Roll forwards. So crossing the legs. Roll forwards with control. Plant the hands. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Enjoy this downward facing dog. If you feel you want to pedal the legs out, pedal out the legs. Then bending into the knees, look to the top of the mat. Hop, step, jump to the top with control. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Into Utkatasana. So, sweeping the arms down, lifting the arms up. And then from here, lift the toes. So you're lifting the toes up. Feel the lift into Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Sink into those hips. Bring your hands to heart center. Taking your left elbow over your left elbow over right knee. Open the chest to the side. Stack the hands one on top of the other. Then spread your wings wide. Open the arms up. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Back to center. Keep those toes lifted if you can. Only if it's just a little bit. Feel a lift into Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Open the arms up. Keep the legs squeezing towards each other. There's a lot going on, I know. Look up to your top hand. Big breath into center. Plant the hands down. Step the feet back into plank. Drop to the knees. Cross the legs, roll back down onto your backs. We're going to take some yogic cycles here. Rolling down nice and carefully. Hands alongside the temples or behind the head, but don't yank too hard onto the head. You're going to extend one leg, hovering it above the floor, and you're going to bring your opposite elbow across to that lifted knee, twisting. You're going to twist and alternate the legs. Yogic bicycles. And breathe. Nice and strong. So inhale, center. Exhale as you twist. Let's do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze into the belly. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in. Take the arms wide. Have the shins at a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to drop the legs, stacking the legs over each other. Keep them to glue them together. Big breath in. Exhale, lift the legs up. Inhale, drop the knees to the side. Exhale, bring them up to center. Inhale, drop. Exhale to center. Let's take 4 more. So using the core muscles, particularly the obliques. Let's take 1 more each side. Keep those arms glued to the floor. Hug the knees in. Take a little rock and roll. Last balance. I've lost my mic. Side crow. And then we'll come down and relax. So side crow. Coming onto your feet. Lift the heel, come onto the balls of your feet. So taking a little squat. Now there will be levels at which you will take this probably today. You're going to take your left arm across as much as possible, twisting across so that you're bringing your left elbow alongside and as high up on that right thigh as you can. So super, super twist. Then taking your other hand to the side. So that is your ledge to the side. Start to bring your weight to the side. Now we'll just take this incrementally. So bringing your weight to the side, pushing your hands, bring your knees together. Just hold it there. So maybe just lifting your left foot off. You still have your weight in your right foot. Just hold it here. Got slight bend into the elbows. Hold, hold, hold. And then we'll go over to the other side. So coming onto the balls of the feet. Going to take that right arm across the outside of that left thigh. Bringing the arm up as close up the side of the thigh as you can. And that's where your landing ledge is, if you like. Plant the right hand down, left hand alongside it. So we're facing the same direction as the hands. Bring the legs together. Squeeze and lift. Start to bring your weight to the side. Bend into the elbows a little bit. And just lift the right leg off. Squeeze into the belly. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And hold. This is different to how we've done it before. So we're just going to work into it over a couple of weeks. So keep your knees stacking next to each other. Just lift the right foot off the floor. Hold it for another 2 breaths. Squeeze into the belly. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift, lift, lift navel to spine. And slowly release. So side crow is very, very advanced for some of us. There are other ways of doing it, but this is the really perfect way of doing it. So we'll work into it over a couple of weeks. Come into child's pose, phalakasana. Draw your head down to the floor. Roll the shoulders forwards. You might feel a little breathless with side crow, because it's very vigorous. Takes a lot of concentration, lots of twisting, lots of strong bandha work, so creates a lot of heat in the body. Then coming up, drop yourself so that, drop your hips to the left, and then take the right foot across the left leg. Taking that nice twist over to the right. So hooking that left arm across the right leg. So twisting and looking behind you. Now you can wrap the right arm behind towards the left hip. It's just a nice counter pose. Nice strong steady breaths. Inhale to center and then switch sides. So bending into the right leg, left leg across right, wrapping that right arm around the outside of the left leg, then taking the left hand behind the back, reaching towards the right thigh or right hip. Keep the chest lifted. Nice long spine, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale to center. Then lying down onto your backs. Bringing your right knee in. Let's take a twist. So dropping your right knee over to the left, reaching your right arm away. Look to your right hand, palm facing up. Just take another 2 breaths here. Nice and slow, steady breaths. Lovely twist and stretch down the outer thigh, down the glute. And swap sides. So left knee in, extending right. Use the right hand, bring that left knee across. Glue the left arm and shoulder down into the floor. Just take note of any differences between the left side and right side. 2 more breaths. So remember, with exhaling into deep stretches, really use that exhale. Make it long. It's on the exhale that we let go. Inhale to center, hug the knees in. Then taking happy baby. Taking the hands to the outside of the feet. Like a little rock and roll. So you're pulling the knees down towards the armpits. Roll side to side. And then extending the legs into a dandasana. It's like you're taking dandasana. Pulling the toes down towards you. Squeeze into the belly. Push the shoulders into the floor. And then pushing into the arms. Taking the legs overhead into halasana. So don't move the head from side to side. Squeeze the thighs together. Toes touch down to the earth. Drive the heels back. Then squeeze the thighs away from you. Taking the hands into the lower back if you want to come into a shoulder stand. Or stay in your halasana. If you're coming into shoulder stand, squeeze and lift into your bandhas. Elbows close to each other, using your hands into your lower back as a support. Stacking the legs as much over the hips as you can. Nice, strong, steady breaths. Do not move the head. Jalandhara Bandha in place here as your chin draws into your chest. Squeeze into Mudra Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Dhanuddharabandha. All three together here. Then dropping the knees down to the forehead. Extending the legs once more. But this time just rolling down through the spine. So nice and slowly coming into Vasisthasana, fish pose. So taking the hands underneath the buttocks, squeeze the legs together, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Below the legs, super slow with control. And then as the legs touch down, squeezing the elbows closer together, push into the elbows, into the earth. Open the chest. So draw the shoulder blades together, open the chest fully, lift the heart, and then drop the head back down to the floor. Taking 5 deep breaths here. Deep belly breaths. Big breath in, look to your feet. And then exhale, wiggle those arms from underneath you. Taking the arms wide. Bringing the heels in towards the buttocks. And then window wiping the legs from side to side. From here, a couple of choices. Taking the feet together. If you feel that Supta Baddha Konasana is for you today, maybe have a little play with that, rocking the hips side to side. It's like a little massage into the glutes. Feels quite nice. Maybe rolling the head side to side as well. Closing the eyes now. If Supta Baddha Konasana is not for you today, then you can bend the knees. Have the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and then drop the knees towards each other. Maybe you want to take your hand to your heart center, left hand heart center, right hand to your belly. Remember, this is your practice, so you make your choices. Completely up to you. So find what's comfortable. It might be corpse pose, shavasana. So find that place where you can be still. So give yourself a last little wiggle out. If you want to tense up the body, tense up all the muscles, that's an option. You can go tense, 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 squeeze, 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 scrunch up the face. And then release. It's quite a good way to just get rid of that last bit of tension in the body. Get rid of the wiggles, get rid of the tension. Close the eyes. And just come back to focusing purely on the breath. Just gently observe the breath once more. In and out through the nose. Just notice where you feel the sensation of the breath strongest. Is it in the tip of the nose, between that space where the breath comes in between the upper lip and the nose? Is it in the nostrils? Do you feel it strongly in the back of the throat? Feeling the lungs expand fully. Do you notice it there? Chest rising and expanding on your breath in. Or do you notice it in your belly? Wherever you feel the breath strongest, glue your attention there. And now softening the body. Softening the body into the floor. Just feeling every point of contact with the mat, with the earth. Softening all of those points. And dissolve. Feel as though you're just kind of melting into the floor.
sinking into the floor. Feeling supported, knowing the earth supports you. Just allow yourself to be heavy. Softening all the muscles in the face and wrinkling the skin across the brow, around the eyes, and clenching the jaw, separating the teeth, resting the tongue heavy in the roof of the mouth, eyes heavy in their sockets. Just a little smile maybe in the corner of the lips. Noticing the breath, gently flowing in, gently flowing out. No longer forcing, controlling. Just let the breath do its automatic in and out. Just like waves by the beach, by the sea. Maybe imagine yourself lying on the sand, feeling the warm sand beneath you. Feeling the sun glow, gently warming your body. Kind of lovely dissolving feeling that the sun gives us when we lie beneath its rays. Just spending another couple of breaths here, just enjoying this quiet moment. Maybe just revisiting your intention, just come back to that. Picture that intention in your mind, in that mind's eye, in a mind's eye. If you want to reaffirm your intention, then do so 3 times. And then very slowly wiggling the fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back into your space, back into the room. Bringing the legs together, extending the legs long, reaching the arms overhead. Give yourself a lovely, lovely stretch. Left side stretch, right side stretch. If it feels good, hug the knees into your chest. Bring your nose up to your knees. Bring yourself into a tight ball. Giving yourself lots of loving hugs here. And then rolling gently over onto your right side. Just pause briefly here. And then using your hand, your left hand, your right elbow, pushing yourself up safely to come to seated. But keep the eyes closed or the gaze low. And then sitting yourself in a comfortable seated position or taking full lotus, half lotus, it's entirely your choice. But sitting tall with a straight, erect spine. Bringing your hands together consciously, connecting your left hand, your right hand together, your palms, your thumbs, your fingertips. Bringing that to your heart center. And then closing our practice with a single Om, just unifying our vibrations. Taking a nice deep breath in. Om. The light in me honors the light in you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Bow your head down to your heart center. Honor yourself, your practice. Honoring the sun today. It's at its peak. We've had our longest day, but these days will still feel long. So enjoy a beautiful week, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely Monday. Thank you for your practice. Take care. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you soon. Have a lovely Monday.